What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Dave and this is Hudson Moto, and we're out here on the beautiful 2024 Tuono V4. This is the base version. It's not the factory. The factory is a little more sportier, but not that much difference. Same power plant, same everything. But as you know, about a month now, I went up to Lincoln, New Hampshire. It was the week before Laconia's bike week. Decided to just go a week earlier. Gets kind of crazy in Laconia Bike Week, and plus just wanted to enjoy the roads that are up there, and we're on the road by ourselves, so not that many bikers up there at the time. But anyway, I want to talk to you about how this did going up there. Now, this is considered a hyper naked, and Aprilia was actually changed the base model a little bit so you can tour on it. Now, obviously it's not like the baggers, it's not like even a sport tour, but you can, well, it is considered a sport tour, but you can tour on this. They do have the bags from the factory, which I didn't have. I just had a SW Motec bag here, 70 liters, a little too big for what I wanted, maybe to get the 50-liter one. But what is nice, it's almost like a horseshoe fit, and two sides come down and the top. So that was nice. But let's get on the bike and let's talk about how this bike performed touring on it. But first, let's get that cold start, baby. Woo! There it is. Look at this beauty. Look at this beauty. Now that's a Leo Vinci pipe. It's basically a straight pipe right now. The only thing I did was that. I also did the windshield, and that's about it. But I did just hop on the bike. Let's talk about how it did. Now this is the view from the cockpit. Now I am 5'7". I got a 29-inch inseam, and first off, I tippy-toe with this bike. I can one-foot it, but if I have to put 2 feet down, I am tippy-toeing. It is a little high. It's about a 32-inch seat height. I got little short, stubby legs, and with the base model here, these handlebars are a little higher. I think they're about 2 cm higher than the Tuono factory. But I am still in a lean position. Like I said, I'm only 5'7", so I am leaning forward a little bit. Not as bad as you would think. If you were over 6 foot, this bike would probably fit you well. You wouldn't be reaching as far, and you could sit up a little higher. I do have to admit, the pegs are high. The pegs are basically the pegs from the RSV4. They haven't changed the position on the Tuono, so it is a little cramped. So again, if you're 6 foot, the top half would be okay. Bottom half, you're in a race position. You know, Ergo's on here. Yes, 350 miles, I'm admitted to you right now, is the most I do on this bike. So 350 miles is a lot of miles. That's about, what, a 5-hour ride if you're going the speed limit. If you're doing 350 miles on the highway, yeah, it'll be a little painful. It'll be a little much. But some of the trip that we took was back roads, so it was fun in the back roads. Mostly we did highway, and we did hit a lot of rain, but it was part of it. You know, when you do on road trips, you got to be wary of it. We actually left 3 p.m. that afternoon. We were supposed to leave at 8 a.m. but it was pouring. It was pouring that afternoon, and it was pretty bad weather the whole day. So 3 p.m. we had a little bit of a window. I met my boy Headless up by where he lives in upstate New York, and you know, the ground was a little wet, so I did start in tour mode. And now tour mode, basically your traction control is set 6. It has 8 levels. I actually put it up because of the wet. The wheelie control was all the way up, the engine braking, everything. Every rider aid you can. Tour mode, it just docils everything back, even when it comes to the throttle response. It performed very well. With this kind of power and how light this bike is, even with my 240-pound frame on here, it does want to kick out if you give it a little more beans than you should. In the traction control, it does save you from time, but you have to be really deliberate and roll on the power nice and easy in order for nothing to even slip. But when you put it in tour, it is a little bit of a wet noodle. Sometimes you have to adjust yourself as a rider and not twist the throttle as hard, just give it a little bit of input and it should be okay. Going up there, we did avoid some of the rain, but we did get caught in it. But when we got into Vermont, New Hampshire, and we were about still an hour, 2 hours away, the roads, it was not raining anymore, but the roads were really wet. And traction control really saved me. I mean, yes, we were on highway, sometimes a little curvy road on the highway. We were only going about 50 all the way up. You know, we took our time. We did it. We tell you the truth, we left at 3 p.m. We didn't arrive up there until about, I want to say, 1:30, maybe 1 o'clock. So it was pretty interesting going up there. Now, was I white knuckling up there because of the rain? Yeah, I was. Being tense on here, because you know what, I'm not used to this kind of bike in the rain. Harley, I've ridden in the rain a lot in that bike, and I felt, not I want to say confident, I am confident in what it can do, but I understand it's an 800-pound bike. You do have a little more weight to it, so you still have to be deliberate with the throttle. I mean, it's a stage 2 bike and all that fun stuff, so it gives a lot of power off the line. But in the end, this is only a 450-pound bike plus me on top, so you're looking at 600 pounds, close to 700, and you just crack the throttle a little bit, it gives you instant torque. Now this is in sport mode, so if I give it the beans, it's nice and easy. It gives you the power right away, and I'm in 4th gear. I'm just letting it lump along. Comfort wise, on here, is it cramped for me? It was, but I don't mind this position, but after 3-4 hours, yes, this position gets a little cramped. Going up there I didn't use any of the cruise control. I stayed in 5th gear, only 50, 55. Coming down from there was a little different, clear roads, nice skies, and it's a highway like this. It was just up it into 6th gear, hit 70. This thing didn't even sweat. It's actually kind of boring. Yeah, so it was actually kind of boring going, on the highway with this. Don't get me wrong, it's fun to just twist the throttle and fucking open it up. But after a while, 4 or 5 pulls of that going fast pace, it was pretty kind of boring. Well, the next thing with this bike, in referencing to going 70, going on the highway, coming down from New Hampshire, coming back home, even going 55 going up, this gas mileage on here is pretty terrible. I'm gonna be honest, it is. Maybe the most I got out is 130 miles out of one tank, 4.5 gallon tank. You do the math, not great. And even when we're going back home, it was even less because I'd be doing this. It's something that you got to be wary about. I mean, if you want to tour on it, on here, maybe 130 miles is the max. And it is nice that you have to get off and get gas because it ties into with how comfortable you are. So, it all ties in, and you do want to get off the bike because you're uncomfortable, but 130 miles isn't really that great. And they want to say it's a sport tour. All right, you could say it's a sport tour, but in the end, 130 miles isn't that far. And maybe, I wouldn't want to say maybe Aprilia should make this bike a little more docile and so you could get more gas mileage out of it. But in the end, that would take away the fun of being a V4. I mean, this thing is a beast, and you want to have the power on tap, but also you want to get some good gas mileage out of it. But this is considered a sport bike. They're not built for long miles, so you know the gas mileage does kind of suck on here. Even just riding around like this on the highway. So we talked about the body position on here. The seat wasn't too bad. It's a little softer for a sport bike, but it's doable. We talked about the gas mileage on here. Performance of the bike, you know, you had power everywhere. I mean, look, I'm in 5th gear. It wants to go, it wants to pull. I mean, no one's ever going to question the performance of this bike. We're physically up there in the twisties. This is the reason why I took this and sacrificed a little bit going up. Once I hit the twisties up there, oh my goodness, it was just so much fun. As you can see in some of the videos. New Hampshire, you had beautiful roads, twisty roads. New Hampshire, Maine, Vermont, all this area was fucking nice. All of it was beautiful. And the reason why I went up there is because I wanted to take this bike and have fun on the twisties up there. Now, I'm not a street Rossi. I'm learning on what this bike can and can't do and what my limitations are and how I can get better. But even at a faster pace up there, around those twisties, it was absolutely, positively fun. No ifs, ands, or buts. Like, seriously, it was a really good time. So the comfort-wise, it's not too comfortable. Gas mileage-wise, that's not too great. Now, the nice thing about it was when we're up there in those twisties with this bike, pop it into even sport mode, oh man, it's so nimble, so light. Power everywhere. You definitely could get into trouble with this thing, but if you have some self-control and you practice and you learn how to ride something like this, it's a lot of fun. It really is. Would you do it again? Tour on this bike? Yeah, I would do it again, but Laconia is the farthest I'm going. No more than 350 miles in one day with this bike, because you do more than that, you're kind of pushing it. You're going to hurt after a while. But if you're going 350 miles back roads, I think it'll be a lot of fun. We were supposed to do back roads going up to Laconia, but it was raining, so we had to take the direct route, and I didn't want to waste any time. But it was worse enough that we took almost 12 hours to get up there. We were going all back roads with this bike, and like I did last time with Rob and Jose, I think it would have been enjoyable, you know, really, really enjoyable. But with the time crunch we had and the things that we needed to do and get up there and the time we left, yeah, it was kind of hard to justify doing all back roads. Maybe it wouldn't have gotten wet, so it would have been interesting. But if it was all dry going up there, it would have been all fun. And the uncomfortable position would have been not too bad. So if we took all back roads going up there and it was dry as a bone like this, like today, I think it would have been worth my while taking this bike, because we're doing twisties, we're having fun. It wouldn't have been as stressful or as boring going up on a highway in the rain. Maybe I wouldn't have complained about the position of this the whole time. When we hit the Cakamangas Highway, when we did the White Mountain State Park with the roads over there, we did to Portland, everything was just, it was awesome. No complaints. Yeah, a lot of riding those days. I put almost just a little over 1,000 miles on this thing. And it was absolutely fun. So, yes, I would go up there again with this bike. I would have a lot of fun again. With the luggage on here, I did adjust the suspension, give it more preload because of the weight of the bag. But this thing was absolute dream up in the twisties, but kind of a pain in the butt on the highway, in rain, a little nerve-wracking. But then again, I would do it again. For a shorter rider, maybe take the handlebars, bring it up a little more, drop the pegs a little bit more, keep the engine, maybe tweak it a little bit where you get a little bit better gas mileage. But I mean, if you tweak the engine and it becomes neutered, and that's why people won't buy it. I mean, I bought this bike because of this. You know, if Aprilia did those things, I think this would be a hit as a sport tour. Just drop the pegs, raise the bars up a little bit more, maybe give a little bit of better wind protection. This windscreen is actually aftermarket, so better on the wind protection. Maybe redesign the pipe so you could have like symmetrical bags. And then I think this would be a winner. You could go up against the 1290 Duke GT Ducati Multistrada. It is in the sport touring, yeah, it would do better than that. But, you know, maybe get rid of the base and redesign it for the sport touring. And then you just have the factory, and people would have to buy the factory if they want this more aggressive position. I think besides all that, I think this is a fun bike, and I would definitely do it again, go up there with this bike. Anyway, guys, if you like today's video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Hopefully you learned a thing or two about how this bike performed on the highway, in the twisties. So, anyway, I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace out.